It is Hockey Night in Fitchburg here on FATV. We are getting ready for the second game of our doubleheader. It is the second first-round match in the Mark Bushnoe Memorial Tournament. We will see the Blue Knights of Lunenburg Ayer Shirley play host to the Bulldogs of Monty-Tech in Fitchburg. I'm John Gugerty, joined momentarily by Dan Bolak. Again, here coming to you from the Wallace Civic Center, of course, on FATV. Want to let you know that you can watch this game and all of our productions at fatv.org over your Apple TV, Roku, Fire TV devices. Dan, are you done? Because I'm having trouble, family.
Yep.
It's fine. We had a Dr. Pepper-related emergency 9 seconds before airtime. Everything's fine, except that roster. That roster is ruined, maybe. We can share.
Actually, the good news is all the ruined rosters were from the last game.
Brilliant!
Yep. There's no damage to anything that we need for this game. Everything's okay.
So, Dan, we have a very intriguing game ahead of us tonight. Lunenburg Ayer Shirley comes in with a record 5-0. They are 2-0 in the Coughlin Conference, trailing Littleton and Bromfield. Littleton and Bromfield is 4-0 in the Coughlin.
Yeah, they're only trailing by the fact that Littleton Bromfield has won more conference games at the moment. But
that still counts as trailing. They're down 2 games with 2 games in hand. How about that?
Yeah, something like that. But in terms of record, Littleton Bromfield, a perfect 4-0 overall. Lunenburg Ayer Shirley, a perfect 5-0. Came off a 3-2 victory over the Green Wave of Greenfield. Dylan Sprague had 2 goals. Jameson Nicosia had a goal. Logan Martin, Connor Lammy, and Ethan Dion had assists each. Tyler Sear with 20 saves. He's been a solid netminder for the Blue Knights this season with a 104 goals against on the campaign. 2 shutouts, both of them coming at the Lowell Cobblestone tournament at the beginning of the season at the Songus Center.
Monty-Tech Fitchburg, on the other hand, they come in 1-2 on the season. All 3 of their games to this point have been in the Coughlin Conference. They are in a log jam, so to speak, kind of toward the bottom of the Coughlin. We just saw Leominster. They are now 0-4 on the year, but also Oakmont 1-3, Gardner 1-2, and again, Monty-Tech Fitchburg coming in at 1-2.
The most recent game for Monty-Tech Fitchburg was a 5-1 loss to Littleton Bromfield this past Saturday. Jordan Samet got the lone goal for the Bulldogs on an assist from Kyle Gendron. It was reported as Chris Stefanillo, but that was a typo from the TNG. Owen Richard, getting his first start of the season, was tested early and often, faced 43 shots, turned aside 38 of them. But the Tigers just too strong for the Bulldogs as Monty-Tech Fitchburg comes in this game with a 1-2 record. Some balanced scoring. Kyle Gendron and Ben Jeanette are the 2 players to watch for the Bulldogs. Gendron, a senior, in his 5th and final year of varsity ice hockey. 3 goals and 2 assists on the campaign. Same for Ben Jeanette. He's a sophomore, though. Definitely a young one from Fitchburg. Attends Monty-Tech. Probably still figuring out what his, well, he already has figured out what his trade's going to be. I was thinking of, the freshmen at Monty-Tech still are probably in the final midst of figuring out their trades. But for the ones who have, this is a very Monty-Tech-laden team, which is why they're taking the lead now in the co-op with 20 of the 22 players on this roster coming from Monty-Tech. But, 7 kids from the city of Fitchburg overall, 2 from Fitchburg High School and 5 more going to Monty-Tech.
Now, if you remember the Fitchburg Monty-Tech days, it is not the Mandela effect. We are not tricking anyone. It is a change, although it is not yet one that is reflected in the logo or the jersey for the Bulldogs. They still have Fitchburg on top, Monty-Tech underneath. But, these things take time. Nobody's made of money. It's, Fitchburg High School hockey.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time for these transitions to happen. I remember a couple of years ago when watching Algonquin win a state championship in girls ice hockey, they had already changed their nickname from the Tomahawks to the Titans, but the jerseys had not yet followed. So it still said Tomahawks when they won the state title. It takes a little bit of time for jerseys to change. Many teams, especially with high school hockey, the jerseys last for years and years and years. When I started calling high school ice hockey in 2016, LAS was still wearing these jerseys as their homes. They've been around for a while.
Listen, if something works and it isn't broken, there's no need to replace it all the time. To wit, there's a banner in the big open area here at the Civic Center, making everyone known that this tournament is hosted by Lunenburg Ayer Hockey, which is technically correct, sort of.
Because, Ayer and Shirley were separate high schools until about 2010 or so. So the co-op was for a long time Lunenburg Ayer. I've been in the Civic Center near the end of Lunenburg Ayer Shirley practices, and they still have practice jerseys that say Lunenburg Ayer.
There you go.
And the logo has just the L and the A. It doesn't have the S because the Shirley part wasn't part of it at the time, but now it is. But Lunenburg Ayer Shirley, you look at their team, they've got a lot of players who can produce. Ethan Dion has 3 goals and 4 assists for 7 points. Dylan Sprague, 4 goals and an assist for 5 points. Sam Brand, 3 goals and 2 assists for 5 points. All of those players are sophomores. Connor Lammy, another sophomore with 6 assists on the season. Jameson Nicosia, another sophomore with 4 goals and 1 assist. And I don't know about you, but this class of 2027 seems pretty loaded for this program.
It's a good class for LAS. Again, they come in 5-0 on the season, defeated Greater Lowell, Lowell proper, Oakmont, St. Bernard's, and Greenfield.
So as they've only played 2 games against Central Mass teams, that's why they're only 2-0 in the Coughlin right now. But, they'll be seeing more of those teams as they go along. At one point, next week they're going to be playing at Dover Sherborne, who are the defending state champions in Division 4. But, they say to be the best, you've got to beat the best.
There's every chance that Lunenburg Ayer Shirley will play another Coughlin Conference game tomorrow. They would just have to lose this, so I don't think they want that.
Yeah. Well, they're definitely going to play a Coughlin Conference. Well, actually, yeah, so they could very well play that. And if they don't play, and if they play Hudson, there's also that, you'll notice on the schedule, there's a thing that says January 13th or 15th, and that is there's a pair of setup matchups that won't happen, but those will happen on those days so that everybody can get their conference games in as we need to.
Exactly. Lunenburg Ayer Shirley has a scheduled game that will either be against Leominster or Hudson, depending on who they play tomorrow in the finals of the Mark Bushnoe Memorial Tournament. Right now, let's send it down to our public address announcer, Jim LaPointe, as he introduces our starting lineups.
Bushnoe Christmas Hockey Tournament, sponsored by the Lunenburg Ayer Shirley Booster Club. Tonight's second game features the Monty Tech Bulldogs versus the Lunenburg Ayer Shirley Blue Knights. Here are the starting lineups. First for the Bulldogs, on defense, number 17, Jackson Leader. Defense, number 3, Matt Daniels. At center, number 11, Austin Haas. Starting at left wing, number 15, Ben Jeanette. At right wing, number 16, Jordan Samet. And in goal, number 30, Easton Minardi. The head coach for Monty Tech is Noah Saracen. And now for the Blue Knights. Starting on defense, number 10, Tyler Fortier. Defense, number 6, Jack Heffernan. At forward, number 13, Dylan Sprague. At forward, number 14, Ethan Dion. Starting at forward, number 4, Logan Martin. And in goal for the Knights, number 1, Tyler Sear. The head coach for the Blue Knights is Eric Short. Officials for tonight's game, Jay Riley and Dan Mahoney. Ladies and gentlemen, students, at this time, I would ask you all to please stand as we honor our nation and the flag with the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Hockey Night in Fitchburg here on FATV. I'm John Gugerty, joined by Dan Bolak. And Dan, we want to take a moment to point out the public address announcer Jim LaPointe has next to him tonight a Johnny Gaudreau Boston University jersey.
Boston College,
my apologies. Johnny Gaudreau jersey, his tribute to Johnny Gaudreau. Just a terrible accident, terrible loss for him and his brother.
Yep, what happened back during the summer, the loss of Johnny and Matthew Gaudreau. Well, obviously a tragedy that reverberates through the entire hockey world even today. After all, they were both, great players. Johnny was a standout for the Calgary Flames, for the Columbus Blue Jackets, but they were also just great people as well. And a tragic loss to the community. And that's just, a little token of respect and remembrance for Johnny Gaudreau and his brother Matthew. And
during the playing of the national anthem, we saw Jim actually reach out and have a hand on that jersey.
Now we're underway in the second game of the Mark Bushnoe Memorial Tournament, as Lunenburg Ayer Shirley will go left to right in the home white uniforms with blue numbering, blue and red trim. Shot stop by Easton Minardi for the Bulldogs, who are in the road dark red uniforms with white numbering and trim. They'll go from right to left in this first period of play. Comes out to the left point, a shot stopped by Minardi. Rebound picked up by Jackson Leader in the left wing corner. Try to get it out of the zone. Tyler Fortier trying to keep it in. Finally pushed out of the zone. Already 2 shots for LAS in the opening minute. Shot in from a distance. Minardi will shut the door there. Leader passes back for Matt Daniels. Daniels tries to knock it off ice. Jack Hefferman keeps it in at the right point. Now sent across, looking for a great one-time opportunity. Just can't get a stick on it. That was Logan Martin they were looking for on the left side, one of the 2 captains on this Blue Knights side. Tyler Fortier the other. Dumped down and pulled down at the LAS blue line. Jackson Leader stepping up the red line, trying to move it along. Flushed back by the Blue Knights. Drop pass misses the mark, but eventually picked up on the right side. Jameson Nicosia will send it around the boards. Will flutter up into the air, now onto the near side. Here's Charlie Colaro into the zone. Colaro up ice, gets a shot, stopped by Tyler Sear. Sear, the junior netminder, has played every game for the Blue Knights this season. Alex Armstrong with some strong defense, try to prevent Owen Hurley from getting a break towards goal. Now here's a shot that's stopped by Minardi with the glove on, Ronan Duvall. 12:57 to go in the first, no score. Duvall, a former Leominster Blue Devil, switched over to LAS last season. He attends Lunenburg High School.
Already 4 shots in these first 2 minutes and change for the Blue Knights.
Easton Minardi has conceded 4 goals in both of the games he's played this season, and he concedes his first one right there as that puck found a hole somewhere on the near side. Jason Turner, the sophomore, getting his first goal of the season, and it's 1-0 to LAS.
Turner just with the backhand, snapping that one just past the left arm of Minardi. They'll pass that puck to the bench.
That'd be the first high school goal, it appears, for the sophomore from Ayer Shirley Regional High School. Jason Turner makes it 1-0 to LAS.
Turner, one of just 4 players, 5 counting the goaltenders here, 5 players from Ayer Shirley. And it's Turner who gets the first goal for LAS.
I have also been informed in the late breaking change they have dressed a 6th player tonight who is from Ayer Shirley, but I didn't have a chance to tell you that one.
Well, that's just rude, honestly.
Blame the Dr. Pepper that exploded.
Okay.
Now up the near side, here's Connor Lammy into the zone. His shot ricochets off a stick and touches the ceiling, which will bring a stoppage to play. 12:04 to go in the first. Yeah, that would be Evan Gibbons, the younger brother of Dylan Gibbons. He's a freshman, and he's going to draw into the lineup tonight wearing number 25.
Thank you so very much.
That way, if he shows up later in the contest, we don't have to call him Raymond Luxury Acht or Ed Reynolds.
That would be bad.
Far side, Noah Johnson. Pass it up ice. Here's Gavin Roy, wearing number 33. Highest number we'll see in this contest tonight, unless Jake Karge gets an appearance in goal for the Blue Knights.
Well, now that you've said it, it's definitely going to happen.
Well, we saw Hudson use their other goaltender, so it's not impossible. At the red line, dumped in by Johnson. Goes wide to the left of Sear. D-to-D pass on the far side. LAS skating it up ice. Gaining the red and gaining the blue. I think it's Fortier who's got it there. Now a shot through a bit of traffic off the stick of Ludemay. Ends up going a bit wide of the goal.
The Blue Knights are familiar with the concept of TV numbers, but not the purpose of TV numbers.
Yes, they have the numbers on their shoulders, as that goes for icing, but dark blue on dark blue and then dark red numbers.
It's not great.
They're functional if they're standing right in front of the bench on the near side, and they are not functional anywhere farther away from that.
Yeah. Again, they know the concept. They don't grok the reason.
So if I'm a little slow on the numbers when they're on the far side, you'll know why.
Again, blame them, not us. Never us.
Well, I imagine these jerseys are due for a replacement in a year or two. Like I said, I've seen these jerseys. I remember calling a game in 2016 with these jerseys, so.
Well, all you have to do is just get in touch with the athletic director and say, listen, I have one request, white.
Maybe I need to make a donation to the LAS Boosters Club.
There you go.
Ben Jeanette trying to carry into the zone for the Bulldogs. 4 or 5 different players going into the boards trying to battle for that puck as it goes behind the LAS net. Sear looking behind him, trying to see where that goes as it pops around to Owen Hurley on the far side. Hurley pass up for Sam Brand. Brand into the zone, battling for it. Now into the slot. Jeanette can't get it away, and Jameson Nicosia, we wrestled into the board from the right side. Jackson Leader goes for Matt Daniels on the right side. Daniels trying to move it around, and that's snapped in. It's a score! Whipped on goal, and Sear misplays it, and we're level at 1.
Danny was trying to punch it away with his blocker. He got his hand up and he just wanted to swat the puck away, but it hit off of his stick, went straight down and into the back of the net.
Austin Haas leads the handshake line. It'd be his second goal of the season, and we're level at 1.
Ben Jeanette is given credit for the goal. For Jeanette, it would be his 4th of the year.
It's one of those things that just comes from out of nowhere. And for Sear, just the 6th goal he's conceded this season in his 6th game. I know he's going to be pretty frustrated. He loses a shutout just like that on the second shot he faces. Here's Kyle Gendron into the zone. His shot deflects into the netting and out of play.
Dan, that's got to be just a mortifying feeling for a goaltender. Something Sear has done hundreds, thousands of times. Just a puck that's vaguely coming in at you, just whack it out of the way. The one time you mishit it just a little tiny bit, it finds the twine behind you.
The last game we had here on FATV with Monty Tech Fitchburg, Easton Minardi had a goal that he conceded that was not too dissimilar. In his case, he tried to catch a shot that was going in front of him, and it goes off the heel of his glove and down into the net over his other shoulder effectively. And I talked about how I've had a few instances where I get a piece of the ball in ball hockey and I see the ball end up in the net anyway. There's a backhand chance to score! Gendron cutting in front! 47 seconds later, the Bulldogs lead.
These chances, Dan, for Monty Tech Fitchburg are coming from out of nowhere. First the misplay by Sear, and then Gendron just skates up and flicks it into the back of the net.
Jedrin's goal will go in the books unassisted as well. He just cuts right out in front of the goal, backhands it, found a hole to beat Sear, and really all three of the goals we've seen have come from basically nowhere. As in, you just don't expect them on the shot that's taken, but that's why you put the puck on the net. Because you never know what's going to happen.
Retribution for the volume shooter.
Law of averages have to play into that. At some point, they'll go into your favor. Now LAS is playing from behind, which seems a little foreign to them. There's a shot, save, rebound, score! That didn't take long. Two great chances, and the finish by Ronan Duvall ties the score at 2. "56 seconds is all the Monty Tech Fitchburg lead lasts before Duvall scores on the rebound to make it 2-2. Can hockey games be track meets?
Yes, absolutely.
That last one was more of a manufactured chance than just execution that went well. Now Stefanillo with the steal. Roy trying to keep a hold of it, but can't keep control of the puck. As Turner passes it up, and now up ice. And a shot goes wide of Minardi. Puck still loose on the right side of the goal line. Cross ice, left side, one-timer deflects wide. The far side, Austin Haas trying to move it along. Noah Johnson there, pinning his man into the boards. Adam Kimball trying to move it along, and Colin Holbrook is there as well for LAS. The left point to the right, holding in the circle, shot, blocker save by Minardi off the stick of Connor Lammy. Left side trying to settle for a one-timer, backhand chance, stopped by Minardi. It's already the 10th shot for LAS in this contest, and we're only 8 minutes in.
Owen Hurley and Jason Turner credited with assists on the goal by Duvall.
Turner's 3rd assist of the campaign, and for Hurley, his 5th on Ronan Duvall's 1st goal of the season for the senior defenseman from Lunenburg High School. 6:49 to go in the first. Shots 10-3 in favor of LAS, but the score is 2-2. Jedrin on the right side, double teamed. Played as an 8th grader for Gardner, then went to Monty Tech. Has played 4 years for the Bulldogs. 3 of them as the Red Raiders. Charlie Colaro on the right side. Pass off Jedrin between the legs. Up for Tucker Watkins, who I think even lost it in his skates for a moment. Now he has it back. Watkins trying to create the moves, draws a penalty. First power play of the night will go to Monty Tech Fitchburg with 6:11 to go in the first. It's been a very interesting hockey game.
If you're just joining us, folks, good news is you've only missed the first half of the first period. Bad news is you've missed 4 goals. Ethan Dion will serve 2 minutes in the admonishment zone.
Goes for the hook. Monty Tech Fitchburg has the first man advantage of the contest, but LAS has control and dumps it down the ice. Jackson Leader on the far side for Colaro, former junior hockey player playing for the Bulldogs this season. So the left side Leader shot stopped by Sear. He hasn't faced too many shots in the last few minutes. It's only the 4th shot he's faced in the contest. Big open ice hit there by Colaro. Leader with the shot, scores! Power play goal in the left wing corner. And Monty Tech Fitchburg leads 3-2. Tucker Watkins Watkins leads the handshake line on the power play goal.
That massive hit by Charlie Collaro got the crowd here on the Monty-Tech-Fitchburg side on their feet. It created an opportunity for the Bulldogs to reclaim the lead.
The spirit and the velocity these two teams have been going at it. The pace of play is a lot quicker in this one, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
The chances are more plentiful. Minardi on his rear end trying to keep a hold of that puck. As it went through traffic, he's able to get it covered. It's LAS. Collaro with that big hit, that big open ice hit, and he gets the primary assist and the lone assist on the goal from Tucker Watkins. His third goal of the season, Collaro's second assist.
And you were talking about the energy with which these teams are going at it. We've got players climbing over each other. Holden Trahan and Logan Martin were tangled up on the far corner.
Up ice here onto the near side. Dylan Sprague gets a hold of this puck for LAS. Turns around and protects. Back to Duvall. Duvall shoots, and it redirects wide to the left. Picked up by Nathan Whaley, tries to clear it out of the zone.
I think it was Austin Haas who got a stick on that to block it for MTF.
On the far side, down in front of the penalty boxes. Trahan sending a man into the board. Shot, and really a play on that sticked away by Minardi. Another chance ricochets off the boards out to the left side. LAS can't get there quickly enough. Scrambling against the boards, finally flicked out there by Haas. Good stick work for him on this shift. Jeanette with pressure all over the back of Duvall. Now Duvall turns it over briefly to Haas, but he's got reinforcements there. Now a shot stopped by Sear. Onto the right side, Jackson Stubbert puts it around the boards into the left wing corner. 3:45 to go in the first. 3-2, Monty-Tech-Fitchburg in front. Now trying to throw out in front, nothing there. And the pass going to Armstrong at the point, misses the mark, and he's gonna have to skate that one down. On his horse is Brady Martone trying to provide the pressure for the Blue Knights. Backhanded off the boards. Picked up by Ludame. Now on the far side, it's Bartone. Backhands it around. Minardi. Looking for Gendron, taken by the other 12 instead, and DeMay thrown out in front. No Blue Knights can get their stick on it. A 3-on-2 developing for the Bulldogs. Here's Gendron. His drop pass didn't get any wood on it. He wanted to find Stubbert, but he just couldn't put enough oomph on it, and hit in the right wing corner in a dispossession by the Blue Knights. As Watkins trying to retake for the Bulldogs. Shots 11-6 in favor of Lunenburg Ayer Shirley, but Monty-Tech-Fitchburg has a 3-2 lead. A high energy, high scoring period. Already more goals in this period than in any individual period in our first game in the Bushnoe. On the left side, LAS gained the zone, but just for a moment, Watkins has it. Bulldogs regrouping. Try to skate it up. Here is Watkins, the sophomore, into the zone on the left side. Rubbed into the boards. And the puck taken by LAS. And there's a chance out in front. A chance and a save by Sear. Another shot as it's still loose in the slot, but LAS can scramble and recover. And we have a whistle.
There was a big, big hit. Turns out it may have been an illegal one. Ben Jeanette will spend 2 minutes in the designated infraction enforcement area.
2:02 to go in the first period. Looked like roughing. The Lunenburg Ayer Shirley will have their first power play of the contest. Can't be cleared out of the zone, kept it at the left point. Shot sticked away by Minardi and straight into the netting and out.
It is indeed roughing the penalty against Jeanette.
Out to the point, can't be kept in, and it's cleared by the Bulldogs. All the way down to Tyler Sear.
It's about a 2-second difference between the penalty and the game clock. 1:39 on the penalty and now 1:39 on the game.
Not much of a gap between the two. Jackson Leader back behind his own net. There were three Blue Knights really harassing him. One of them might have grabbed Leader's stick, but that will go uncalled. It's a shot through a lot of traffic by Fortier, stopped by Minardi and cleared.
That was very dangerous. Ethan Dion was crashing down on the puck. Minardi had no idea where it was. Monty Tech Fitchburg, luckily, however, was able to clear it away.
Blue Knights trying to skate it up ice, but Watkins, strong forecheck, able to force a dispossession. Gets at the red line, self-pass, takes a hit there, and both officials had their arms up immediately. When both of them can agree on a call like that, you know that just won't do.
Yeah, no, you can't be doing that sort of thing.
With 54.6 to go, we'll have some 4-on-4 time. Tyler Fortier to the bin of sitting. Draw one by the Bulldogs. Calaro's shot well off the mark, but Armstrong's going to get there first on the right side. Punches it off the boards for Watkins. Watkins, bad angle, shot, save, rebound, off the side of the net by Calaro, looking for his first goal as a Monty Tech Fitchburg Bulldog.
Sears playing without a stick right now. He doesn't know where his is. Now he tracks it down.
Think interference was the call against Fortier, as the Blue Knights are moving in transition there. Still 20 to go on this 4-on-4, and then an abbreviated power play coming from Monty Tech Fitchburg. Strong stick there by Watkins, who's had a very good first period for the Bulldogs. Able to disrupt that pass. Jordan Samet getting a stick on that one. Got his first varsity goal just 6 days ago against Littleton Bromfield. Dumps it down the ice. Out of the box will come Jeanette. And the first period will come to an end. Fire wagon hockey back and forth. And Monty Tech Fitchburg has the lead through 15 minutes of play, 3-2.
Dan, hockey's fun, isn't it?
This one sure was.
Hockey's a lot of fun. 5 goals scored in the opening 15 minutes, just back and forth, one shot after another. Teams answering, punching, counter-punching. That was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, just watching the intensity, the first game, I think, Leominster knowing, what their limitations are, trying to slow down the pace of play, and Hudson playing on their level, keeping a conservative mind to it. But this second one, both teams are just going full brawl out, throwing hands from the get-go.
I'm going to make a prediction, and it's every chance that 30 minutes of hockey goes by and proves me a fool. 3-2 is not going to be the final score of this game. I think we got some more goals coming.
Feels that way. Shots finished 12-8 in favor of LAS. It was so lopsided for so much of that period, too. But Monty Tech Fitchburg got some opportunities late in the period to close it up a little bit. And ultimately, they escaped the first 15 with the lead. And wouldn't they like to play spoil sport at LAS's tournament?
They absolutely would. They've got their home fans here as well. Folks, if you are in town and interested, come on down to the Wallace Civic Center for 2 more periods of tremendous hockey. But if you'd rather stick with me and Dan, I completely understand. We'll take the first intermission break with the players, and we have 30 more minutes of hockey coming to you. It's Hockey Night in Fitchburg here on FATV. Back here at the Wallace Civic Center on FATV, I'm John Gugerty, joined as always by Dan Bullock. Dan, we had one of the more entertaining periods of hockey that you and I have ever called. 5 goals scored in the first 15 minutes here in the first round match of the Mark Bushnoe Memorial Tournament between Lunenburg Ayer Shirley and Monty Tech Fitchburg.
Back and forth action. These two teams were more than content to dance on the razor's edge. So many scoring opportunities for both teams. LAS got the first goal from Jason Turner. Didn't take very long for Monty Tech Fitchburg to respond. In fact, they responded twice in 47 seconds. Ben Jeanette got his 4th goal of the season. And then after that, Kyle Gendron cutting out in front gave the Bulldogs the lead. Ronan Duvall answered back for LAS, but then Tucker Watkins on the power play restored the lead for Monty Tech Fitchburg. They lead 3-2 as we come into this second period, and they still have a carryover power play.
Loose puck in front of the net, steered clear by Easton Minardi, pursued by Matt Daniels. He sends it along the far side boards for Ryan Gavin. Back to Daniels, goes back behind the net now. Just barely cleared out by Monty Tech Fitchburg. 36 seconds left on the man advantage, and we get a whistle.
It was a bit of an over and back there as LAS had intercepted the blue line and then pushed the puck briefly back over the blue line, forgetting that one of the players was still back there. Just because you can ice the puck on the kill doesn't mean that you can go off sides on the kill.
There's still some rules, a few rules, a couple of rules. Tucker Watkins skating it up for Monty Tech Fitchburg, gains the blue line, 20 seconds left on the power play. Watkins takes a shot, save made by Tyler Sear. Rebound comes to the near corner. Cleared out by LAS. That'll kill off the final few seconds on the man advantage. We will be back to even strength in 3, 2, 1, and now. Loose puck center ice, poked to the near boards by Kyle Gendron, the assistant captain, alternate captain rather, for MTF. Gendron skating through, puck poked away from him by Jack Heffernan. Shot from the point, deflected, comes to the near corner, back behind the net. Connor Lammy will handle for LAS. He loses it. Centering pass is deflected, comes back to Watkins. Watkins along the far boards, back behind the net, played there by Jack Heffernan again. Heffernan will go back along the far side boards, and it's cleared out. Jamison Nicosia now with the puck, 2-on-2 for Lunenburg Ayer Shirley. Nicosia will set up, shot blocked by Jackson Leader. Leader has it, steers it forward for Watkins. Tucker Watkins, plenty of teammates to pick from. He chooses Tucker Watkins. Gains the blue line, skates through a couple of LAS players across the goal line. Centering pass finds no one in particular, however, and it's intercepted there. Playing it forward for LAS is Ethan Dion. Gives chase in the near left corner. Back behind the net. Dion being menaced by Jordan Samet. Shot steered away by Minardi. Back to Dion in the corner. Dion under pressure this time by Daniels and Haas. Haas with a new partner. He usually teams with Benjamin. Shot save made by Minardi. That was a wrestling joke, Dan. Try to keep up. And it goes back behind the net. Matt Daniels now with it for Monty Tech Fitchburg. He tries to clear, but it's kept in on the far side by Dom Benner. Benner pushing and shoving in the corner with Samet. Try the centering pass, nothing there. Comes to the point, shot deflected, deflected again, and then steered away by Minardi. That puck nearly plinkoed its way into the net.
The 5-hole would be the $10,000 slot there.
Absolutely.
But he hit one of the zeros instead.
Exactly 3 minutes gone by here in the second period. Shots on goal, 15-9 in favor of the Blue Knights of Lunenburg Ayer Shirley. Faceoff will come to the right of Minardi. One of the Bulldogs is encouraged to back off a little bit. Loose puck out of the faceoff. Goes to the corner, poked behind the net, chased there by Austin Haas. Haas gets it along the near boards. He was trying to hit Stubbart. Got just enough of it that it's not icing as it goes down to the LAS end. Stubbart now giving chase along the far boards, falls to the stick of Haas. I swear there are more than 2 players on the board for Monty Tech Fitchburg. It's just going back and forth between Stubbart and Haas. Owen Hurley gives chase for LAS. Played back behind the Monty Tech Fitchburg net. Sam Brand gives chase along the far side boards. And it is cleared. Ryan Gavin with a chance. His shot save made. Rebound save made! Snatched out of the air by Tyler Sear. His most impressive save of the night. keeps it a 1-goal deficit.
By all intents and purposes, Jackson Stubbart should have his first high school goal right there. But that was a brilliant save there by Tyler Sear, getting that glove out and snaring that. That was a beautifully executed one-timer, and by all rights should have been in the back of the net. But Sear makes a tremendous save to keep it 3-2.
Battle along the far side board sees Colin Holbrook square off with Stefanillo. Stefanillo emerges the victor. He takes it back, loses his edge. Now into the offensive zone, Noah Johnson. Johnson pokes it to the corner, 10 versus 10 as Tyler Fortier plays it. Back to the point, shot goes wide. I don't think anyone's deflected that. Stefanillo just didn't get the velocity he wanted. Back behind the LAS net, chased by Jason Turner. Comes back to Collaro. Collaro in the slot. His shot is blocked. Goes back behind the net. Collaro will regather, try again. Comes back to the point for Armstrong. His shot steered away by Sear. And LAS will clear. 10-10 to play here. Second period. Big hit along the near side boards. Sends Adam Kimball spiraling to the ice. And another one back behind the net. Some big aggressive checks delivered by MT-FHS in the last 10 seconds. Puck comes along the near side, all the way down to the LAS end. Chased down by Noah Johnson, played for the Knights by Lou Dumais. Dumais and Johnson. Johnson emerges the victor, tries a centering pass, but it's poked away from him. Back to Dumais. Dumais has dispossession taken from him, and he finally clears it out. Adam Kimball gains the red line and dumps it in. Lunenburg Ayer Shirley will change. 5 fresh skaters for the Blue Knights. And just as I was learning their names, pass comes along the near side for MT-FHS. Kyle Gendron gains the zone, skates past a man, takes it back behind the net. He has it poked away from him by Lammy. Gendron tried to get it back out to center, but it was poked away once more. Near side, kept in. Was Daniels tried the shot from the point. It went wide. Stubbart couldn't get it back in. Down the far side board, sprinting after it is Logan Martin. He'll get there in time, no icing. LAS has it in the offensive end. Ethan Dion fighting for it. Loose behind the MT-FHS net. We've been calling him Fitchburg MT-Tech for years. You'll have to give us some leeway. And the Bulldogs will clear the zone. Gaining the blue line is Watkins, but he loses it, and it's cleared out by Duvall. Now back shot, save made by Sear. No, that's a goal. Tucker Watkins puts it in. I thought Sear had it in his glove, but it found the back of the net, and it is 4-2 in favor of MT-FHS.
I think he was trying to snare that out with the glove, but it just snuck underneath and found its way in. Our official right on the spot points straight at the net, and that's the signal that that is in the net, and that is a goal. 4-2 to the Bulldogs on Watkins' second of the night.
Watkins doubles the lead. 8.5 minutes to play here, second period. Sent in along the near side. Cleared right back out, but regathered by LAS. And we get another whistle.
The offsides against the Blue Knights. 8:16 to go in the second and 4-2 lead.
Kyle Gendron and Jackson Leader credited with the assists on Tucker Watkins' second goal of this contest.
Be the third assist of the season for both players.
I told you it wouldn't be 3-2, Dan.
Absolutely right.
Easton Minardi steers it to the corner. Comes to the slot. And it goes into the back of the net just like that. Lunenburg Ayer Shirley has made it a one-goal contest once again. Owen Hurley will lead the handshake line. For him, it would be his second of the year.
38 seconds separating the goals. We've seen some quick responses in that contest. And we've seen Minardi there trying to seal up the far side post, but leaving a little bit of space over the shoulder. We talked about that in the first game. Most goaltenders, when they go low to the ice to try to seal, are not going to be able to seal that spot up there. And Hurley was just able to pick that spot and hit it.
Big hit delivered at center ice by Jamison and Koja, but Monty-Tech Fitchburg had it in the offensive zone. LAS is able to clear. Now a chance for them going the other way. This is Brand. Brand leaves it off. Shot save made by Minardi. Chance for the Blue Knights to tie the game. Now the Bulldogs want to extend their lead once more. Watkins already has 2. He'd love a hat trick, but he won't get it here. Chance for the Blue Knights going the other way. Hurley leaves it back, and he loses the handle. Back and forth we go. Where we stop, nobody knows. Watkins pushes it forward for Trahan. He fights in the near side corner with Fortier. It goes to the far side. Now a chance on the breakaway for Lunenburg Ayer Shirley. Ethan Dion one-on-one with the goaltender. Can Minardi be in? No, he cannot! That is a goal, and we are tied at 4. Ethan Dion, one of the many, many sophomores for this Lunenburg Ayer Shirley team, ties this game at 4.
Monty-Tech Fitchburg trying to put the pressure on, and Dion had a breakaway from the red line on, and one of the dangerous goal scorers for the Blue Knights. It's his 4th goal of the season. 68 seconds after they made it 4-3. We're now level at 4.
What a game.
These two teams, when they played each other,
Lou Dumais gets credit for the assist.
so when these two teams played last year, they played 2 games, and they found 6 goals between them in those 2 games. They're both 2-1 wins for LAS. They've played a little over half of a game, and they found 8 goals.
That'll work.
Not the best night for the goaltenders.
Daniels sends it forward. Jeanette, shot goes up over the net. Chased down by Samet. Samet sends it back for Haas. Jeanette took another chance, couldn't find the net. Comes back to Daniels, he pokes it forward. Played back behind the net for LAS. Dumais just had a goal to tie this game at 4. Blue Knights unable to clear the zone. Dumais will take another chance. 5:40 to play here, second period. We are level at 4. Blue Knights gain the zone, going 2-on-3. Sprague sends it back behind the net. It'll be played there by Daniels. Sprague regains it from Daniels. His centering pass for Martin. Martin was unable to get a shot off, but we got a penalty coming. Seems like a cross-check, Dan.
Looks like it to me.
Austin Haas will be sent to his room to think about what he's done. Monty-Tech Fitchburg will play shorthanded for 2 minutes.
We've seen 1 power play goal in this contest. That came from Tucker Watkins. That made it 3-2 in favor of Monty-Tech Fitchburg, all the way back in the first. That was a few goals ago.
Shot from the point, deflected, winds up going off the backside of Alex Armstrong. Fortier will roll it up, try again. This one's steered away by Minardi. Sent back behind the net, chased down by Armstrong. He'll fire it along the ice. Comes to Sear, he makes the save. Very carefully gets rid of the puck. Tyler Sear taking no chances with those long shots after what we saw earlier in this contest. Another one fired in on him. He'll steer this one wide.
Notice Kyle Gendron waiting aggressively in the slot for Monty-Tech Fitchburg. He scored 3 shorthanded goals against Gardner in the season opener. So he's someone always to watch out for on the kill.
It's Nicosia and Fortier for LAS. Fighting with Watkins and a couple other Bulldogs. Puck squirts free. Watkins has a chance. Sear comes all the way to the 4th line just to get rid of it. It has to dive back to make the save on the shot by Gendron.
The aggressive play there from Sear going all the way out to break up that chance. But there was Gendron ready to follow on. I think that shot was going to go wide anyway, but taking no chances there, but already taking a lot of chances just to get there in first.
Chance for the Blue Knights, 30 seconds left on the power play. Can't get the handle, no shot registered. Now a chance going the other way for Monty Tech Fitchburg. Tucker Watkins once again, Spears shoots, save made by Sear. And it goes back behind the net with 18 to play on the man advantage.
Sear looked confused for a moment how aggressively he was going out in front at first, but able to stick with Watkins and make the save there. Very interesting play there.
Tyler Fortier gets the goal. With 7 seconds left on the power play, Tyler Fortier gives the Blue Knights the lead.
We always say throw it on the net and good things can happen. In that case, just going deep there, throwing it across. Think it just went off Minardi sticking in. I've given up a goal like that before. That's also never a good feeling either.
3.5 minutes to go here in the second period. We have had 9 goals in this contest, 5-4 in favor of Lunenburg Ayer Shirley.
A number of goals in this contest have just come out of what almost feel like quote-unquote nothing plays, where someone's just trying to throw the puck at the net, something happens, and then it just goes in.
Dan, I'm going to say something. I understand and I appreciate, I really do, a good defensive 0-0 game that goes into overtime, and maybe you find a winner and maybe you don't, and that's okay, and those can be a lot of fun. If you are not enjoying watching this game, hockey's not your sport. This is the best we got. This is hockey. If you don't like this, I'm sorry. Try something else.
Stefanillo was badly offside there. Just didn't read the tempo of his teammates there.
Like maybe lacrosse. Lacrosse has scoring, though.
Lots of scoring.
It does.
You're never going to see a 0-0 game in lacrosse.
I don't know. Maybe golf. Maybe just something else completely different. If you're not enjoying this, try golf.
I mean, if you're not enjoying this, maybe you're a fan of one of the two teams and are not enjoying how the contest has gone on for your side. Maybe
well,
that would be. But you're definitely enjoying it when your team was scoring, right?
Exactly. There's like levels of fandom where it's exhilarating to watch, but also terrifying. That counts as enjoying. LAS unable to keep the puck in the zone. They'll need to tag up and clear. Gives Monty Tech Fitchburg a chance to regain and clear once again. Back and forth along the blue line we go, gathered by Monty Tech Fitchburg. 2.5 minutes to play now in the second period. Comes in on Sear. He'll leave it back behind him for Heffernan. Heffernan will send it across to Duval. Back to Heffernan. Monty Tech Fitchburg very aggressive on the forechecking. They've been very aggressive at darn near anything, really.
Feels like both teams have been darn near aggressive at pretty much everything.
It's a fair and accurate statement, actually. Along the near side boards, cleared out. Gathered at the blue line by Heffernan. He'll bounce it forward. Sam Brand is there for the Blue Knights, but he's unable to handle. Chance for Monty Tech Fitchburg going the other way. Jordan Samet into the near corner. Poked away from him by Duval. Goes across the ice. Austin Haas is there, but he's unable to gather. Haas sends it forward, comes in on Sear. He paddles it away with 94 seconds to play in the period. Cross ice pass is intercepted by Colaro, but he has it taken away from him. Now a chance for Nicosia to make something happen. His shot goes wide. Up over the glass into the netting. We get a stoppage with 1-2-3 to go here in period number 2. It's important that we get those basic numbers now that HBO's canceled Sesame Street.
I'm hoping that PBS will at least pick up the slack and start doing some first runs again, maybe in a few years. And if you go in a clockwise motion, it's 1, 2, 3, then 4 on the Bulldog side and 5 on the Knight side.
That's right. And the next period we play will be the 6th one we've covered today on FATV. Loose puck back behind the net. Minardi keeping an eye on it. Comes out to the point. Cross-ice pass for Fortier. His shot is blocked. Jordan Samet got in the way of it. He'll earn a bruise and some respect from his teammates. the greatest currency of the hockey player, to my understanding. Sear sends it into the corner. Under a minute to play here in the second period. Monty Tech Fitchburg trying to make something happen on the offensive end, but it's cleared out by LAS. Hurley looked for it to his left, but the pass went to his right. Monty Tech Fitchburg with a chance, but I think we've just got an interference call here in the last 32 seconds of this period.
And Charlie Colaro getting into it with Owen Hurley behind the play and made a play in such a manner that Hurley's stick came out of his hands. And that was where the puck was well away, and that is what you call interference.
Indeed. He will be made to sit in a small area isolated from the rest of the participants in the contest, while his team will play without him, and indeed without a replacement for him, at a disadvantage, if you will. Shot from the point, save made by Minardi. 25 seconds to play here in the period. Battle in the far corner. LAS wants to make something happen. Back behind the net, centering pass goes off the net. Not quite as accurate as Fortier would have wanted. Another centering pass is intercepted. Rifled down the ice, 10 seconds to play. If the Blue Knights are going to make something happen, they got to go really freaking fast with it. But I think we will play out the final few seconds and go to the lockers with the score 5-4 in favor of Lunenburg Ayer Shirley. Dan, that first period was pretty darn good. The second also ruled. Hockey continues to be fun.
Indeed, indeed. Monty Tech Fitchburg able to take a 4-2 lead at one point from Watkins' second goal of the game. But LAS responding with 3 on the bounce, and now they have the advantage through 30 minutes of hockey and a minute 28 of carryover power play time as well.
Very important penalty to kill for the Bulldogs. Although honestly, the way this one has gone, even if they do concede another power play goal, it doesn't necessarily mean they're out of it. Whew, boy.
Yep. A lot of action, a lot of play, a lot of aggressive play as well. It's been very entertaining. I know we keep telling you that it's entertaining, but yeah.
Both of these teams, Dan, I'm just looking at the schedule. Lunenburg Ayer Shirley has already tied their second most goals scored in a game all season. They beat Lowell 5-0. The only other better performance is when they beat Oakmont 6-1. Monty Tech Fitchburg has tied their season high already. Actually, excuse me, they put 7 on Gardner in their opening contest, but since then, they only scored 2 against St. Bernard's. They only scored 1 against Littleton Bromfield. They have 4 tonight, and we still have 15 minutes to play.
They have tied their season high in goals conceded, which is the negative thing that you don't want to mention so much.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, it's just been one of those nights. It's like
when everyone's scoring, you just focus on how awesome the scoring is and leave the goaltending criticism to the goaltending coaches.
Yeah, I know both keepers are going to feel like they've had better nights than this.
Sure. And listen, some of the goals, I mean, you know, there are a couple of goals that have just been straight misplays by the goalkeepers. At the same time, this is tremendously entertaining. I'm having a blast, and I can't wait for the next period. Can we do it now, please? I realize we have to clean the ice or whatever, but after that, can we play more hockey?
We'll play some more hockey once the Zamboni Ice Resurfacer does its job.
All right, we will leave him to that, leave the players to their rest. Folks, we will take the second intermission and come back with the third period here in the second game of the first round of the Mark Bushnoe Memorial Tournament here on FATV. Back here at the Wallace Civic Center, 5-4, Lunenburg Ayer Shirley leads Monty Tech Fitchburg here in the second of 2 first-round games in the Mark Bushnoe Memorial Tournament here on FATV. A reminder, folks, we will have coverage of the 2 games tomorrow. The consolation third-place game, puck drop scheduled for just after 2 p.m. here at the Civic Center, and then just after 4 p.m., the championship game. The Hawks of Hudson will take on the winner of this one. And Dan, the winner of this one is still very much to be determined.
So much has happened in the first 30 minutes of hockey. 9 goals found between these two sides. LAS has scored the last 3 to take a 4-2 deficit to a 5-4 lead. They've got 88 seconds of carryover power play time to start this third period of action. And really for both teams, it's just weathering the storm, weathering the hits that both teams are putting out on each other. We've seen a lot of big hits in this contest. We've seen a lot of scoring opportunities. We've seen a lot of interesting goals. It's been a very, very exciting game, just seeing the tempo in the air. Again, the winner of this game gets Hudson tomorrow in the championship of the Bushnoe tournament. Loser will get Leominster in the consolation. Just doing a little bit of maintenance there at the Zamboni ice resurfacer doors on the right side, which have given ourselves a little bit of trouble tonight.
It's been a theme over the course of these two games. The playing surface has been uneven, I think is fair to say. I think that's an accurate statement. I think everyone would agree with that.
There have been a lot of instances in which players have been challenged to try to handle the pucks as they make their way to them.
We have seen pucks get caught up a little bit in the boards right there at that door.
That'll happen. Jay Riley and Dan Mahoney, the officials for this contest, checking on the doors. Mahoney is working his second game today as he took charge of the first game with Keith Hughes. That does happen sometimes as well. You'll see officials work multiple games in a day. You know, we could always use more referees, and I imagine some of these players may consider turning to the referee game after they graduate and after they've completed their hockey careers. It's a great way to continue giving back to the sport. LAS going left to right in the home whites. Monty Tech Fitchburg from right to left in the road reds. Up into the Bulldog zone behind the net. Again, 75 seconds of power play time for the Blue Knights. Pass into the left wing corner, but Matt Daniels is first to arrive. He gets it out to the left point, where it's held in by the Blue Knights. Go into the corner, whiff on the first pass. Second pass makes its way back to the left point. Now to the right circle, Jamison Nicosia holding on to it. At the point, shot through traffic, seen by Minardi. He gathers that one up, stopping the shot from Tyler Fortier, who has what currently stands as the winning goal.
Tons of traffic in front of him, but Easton Minardi did a good job keeping an eye on that puck, watching it all the way in, and then hanging on for the whistle and the faceoff, which comes to his left.
Shot by one of the captains in Tyler Fortier for the Blue Knights, stopped by the captain for the Bulldogs in Easton Minardi. From the point, Fortier will try again, found a redirection, but it goes wide of the cage. Jamison Nicosia on the right side. To the point, another shot. Redirected wide, may have gotten the post as well. Definitely took a big change in direction as it goes wide of the cage. Picked up on the left side. Now another shot, looking for a stick down in front from Hurley, but it's wide again. 15 on the power play for LAS. They're trying to get those change in directions in front, and that flutters and hits the post and stays out. And now Ben Jeanette on the rush back the other way. He's closed off by Fortier. Penalty is up to Charlie Colaro, and back to full strength are the Bulldogs. 13:25 to go in the contest, 5-4 lead for LAS.
Haven't really seen a team with continuous sustained possession in the offensive end like we saw LAS have in the last minute or so of that power play. They were just able to sit back and fire rocket after rocket at Easton Minardi. Monty Tech Fitchburg, however, was able to weather the storm, and now they look to tie this game up.
Left corner, Watkins trying to drop it off, but a Blue Knight will take it instead as they wanted Gendron. Puck will make its way into the neutral zone. Colaro kept a hold of it, got it to Gendron. Wasn't able to keep control. Logan Martin, the other captain for the Blue Knights, with a touch on, and here's a pass up the right side. Dylan Sprague into the right wing corner. Jackson Stubbert thrown around the boards. Colaro will help to dispossess LAS and back into the neutral zone. Cross all the lines and make its way back to Colaro. He'll put it back to the red line. Gendron will take it off a Blue Knight stick. Another collision in the neutral zone. It's the puck now behind the LAS net. Gathered up, turned over. Colaro, shot, redirects wide.
Monty Tech Fitchburg partisans were very happy to see Kyle Gendron absolutely level Ronan Duvall at about center ice.
Both of them have goals tonight. It's up the right side, a cross-ice pass from Duvall. Intercepted, spit down the ice, and icing will be the call with 11:53 to go in the third period. (5-4) in favor of Lunenburg Ayer Shirley, who hold this tournament every year in honor of Mark Bushnoe, an assistant coach for them back in the 90s, passed away at 2000 at the age of 39. This tournament has been going on for about 20 years. There's always a fun tradition at the end of the year. That one thrown in from Haas, and Sear able to knock that down. Now a bad angle shot. Sear makes the stop there. I've been watching as this game's gone on. I hadn't had a chance to see Tyler Sear play before tonight, but he plays very aggressively up beyond the top of the blue paint. It's definitely a bit of a different look. Not too many goalies play that aggressively.
We saw Sear aggressively come forward earlier back in the second period. Dan tried to poke away a puck that had gotten into the face-off circle to his right, nearly conceded a goal because of it.
On the left side, Jordan Samet trying to move it along into the slot, ends up going behind the net around the boards, taken by LAS. Dumped in to Holden Trahan. Will go D to Ryan Gavin. Gavin will make his way up ice, gets to the red line. Waiting now, he'll dump in. A couple of players will change off on the dump in as it goes in the left wing corner. Big hit in the corner, and now here comes LAS. Jamison Nicosia, backhand shot, fluttered off his stick behind the net. To the left side, Sam Brand tries to move it along, taken by the Bulldogs instead. Pass for Ben Jeanette is too far away from him. Connor Lammy will retrieve, lose it for a moment, try to get back to Jeanette in the slot. He was tangled up with a couple of Blue Knights. Out to the near side for Brand. A touch on to the near side. Here's Owen Hurley. He's got a goal in this contest. Gets a shot off, stopped by Easton Minardi. Now hit on the right side. And another shot and another save with the paddle, this time for Minardi, thrown in front. Knocked down, another chance, saved by Minardi. A dangerous rebound that time, gets to the left side. And Monty Tech Fitchburg says, we need fresh legs. Just blast it down the ice and get the icing call.
If Lunenburg Ayer Shirley doesn't hang on to win this game, Dan, Sam Brand is going to be seeing that rebound in his nightmares. He had a wide open net in front of him. He just wasn't able to react quickly enough. The puck squirted past him and wound up being cleared out of the zone.
I was saying that Monty Tech Fitchburg may want some fresh legs. They only switched 2 players.
That's 4 fresh legs. That counts.
Yeah. Not a majority of legs, but nevertheless.
It's an above average number of legs for 2 people.
The far side into the LAS zone. 4 players pinning that puck in, and now it spits out of the zone. Jackson Leader goes to Matt Daniels. Off the boards, Gendron trying to play at the red line, keeping strong control of the puck. Gendron into the zone, makes the pass up the right side, shot saved by Sear. Very juicy rebound, Leader's shot goes wide. Now in the left wing corner, trying to dig it out again for Gendron, but taken by the Blue Knights off the boards. And stretching up ice, this is Logan Martin. Martin on the right side, tried to make the nifty toe drag. Matt Daniels wasn't having any of it. Now Leader, up ice, over the stick of Stubbert. Right side into the zone, Gendron was offside. 8:41 to go in the third, 5-4 LAS.
Referee said that Watkins was okay, and he was, but Gendron was a little bit further ahead, and that was outside the bounds of the rules.
Face off outside the Blue Knight zone, eventually controlled by LAS. Stefanillo going back to play this to Armstrong. Gavin Roy at the red line. Tried to float middle of the ice, wanted Noah Johnson. He couldn't control it. The far side dumped in, but just wide. Off the boards, Colin Holbrook. Ridden into the boards by Armstrong. Back to the left point, shot never made its way through. That one worn by Calaro. Could be an odd man rush for Monty Tech Fitchburg. Stefanillo with a shot, flutters towards goal. Sear plays it on the bounce, gloves it, and holds for a draw. even something like that can be a little bit scary, especially with how this game has gone.
I was going to say, and I want you to be honest, as a goaltender, which is scarier, a point-blank slap shot or a high floating puck that then starts bouncing and rolling and who the heck knows what it's going to do?
So there's definitely, I mean, obviously that point-blank slap shot is going to be more painful. That being said, you probably, as long as you have your positioning sound, can probably stop it. But and same can be said with the bouncers. Is that shot on Minardi, he makes the stop there. Go for the wraparound chance. Fortier had the door stopped by Minardi there as well. But those bouncing pucks, when they take that first bounce, you never know what direction they're going to go. Another shot saved by Minardi, another chance. Minardi again, he sprawls on top of it and covers it.
Easton Minardi has been equal to the task through the first half of this third period. Both teams have had opportunities to tee off. Goaltenders have turned them away. 7:29 to play here in regulation. Bulldogs need a goal for that word regulation to make sense.
Shots 9-3 in this period in favor of LAS. It's 7-3 because I can't count. But no goals thus far in this third stanza. The Bulldogs just trying to fight their way up ice. Watkins with the self-pass, shut off there by Dylan Gibbons. To the right side, delayed call coming. We get the touch up here. And a power play coming with 7:01 to go in the third. It is a cross check. And Tucker Watkins is going to be the guilty party.
LAS will have 2 minutes to possibly add to their advantage. MT-FHS will have 2 minutes of a severe disadvantage. 2 of the 7 left in this game as Tucker Watkins serves time in the criminality containment cube.
It's even worse than we would have thought. They put 5 on the board.
Oh boy.
Called it a major cross check against Watkins. That's going to make things extremely challenging for the Bulldogs. They may have scored a number of shorthanded goals against Gardner in the season opener. Major penalty for cross-checking. Minardi makes the stop there. Rebound can't be corralled. They battle forward and it's in the net! It found its way through! And LAS makes it 6-4. Looks like Lou DeMay was the one who got the finish on that. The second-year varsity player who is a freshman from Lunenburg High School will have his first goal of the season. One of 3 players who played for LAS last season as an 8th grader, the only one of the 3 to return. The assists go to Jameson Nicosia and Owen Hurley. The Blue Knights have a 6-4 lead and they remain on the power play for the next 4 minutes. As that shot cut down in front.
Just a disastrous turn of events for the Bulldogs.
That major penalty really, really stymieing their chances of coming back in this contest. And now LAS know they can put all the pressure on. Fortier's shot is turned aside by Minardi. Having a little bit of trouble playing it on there. And Austin Haas trying to create an opportunity. No, that's Jeanette. Kills a few seconds off of the penalty. Well, the Bulldogs chasing 2 now with 5:20 to go in the contest and still just under 200 seconds to go on the man advantage for LAS. All the way down the ice. Fresh legs coming onto the ice for both sides. LAS knows they can take their time here. Now with the 2-goal lead. They've scored 4 goals in a row. Fortier, shot patted away by Minardi. On the left side, Connor Lammy pinned against the boards. Armstrong will come in to join the fray. On the left side, another shot deflects into the netting and out of play. 4:39 to go in the third, 6-4 LAS.
Not quite halfway through this kill, still 2:38 to play on the man disadvantage for Monty-Tech-Fitchburg. If, Dan, they can get through this and still be 6-4 on the other end, there would be 2 minutes left in this game. And I think very shortly thereafter, we would see Easton Minardi head for the bench. Right now, both teams will head for their benches as Monty-Tech-Fitchburg takes their timeout.
Yes, 4:39 to go in the third, 2:38 to go on the penalty to Watkins.
While we have a moment here during the stoppage, we want to once again thank Travis Falk, who's been running our camera today and handling all of the audio for us as well. Travis does a tremendous job here at FATV. We would not be here without him. And we also want to thank Nathan Glenning, the executive director of FATV, for providing craft services.
Indeed. Some wonderful pizza, some soda.
We had a bit of an issue with the soda, but that wasn't Nate's fault.
No. No, the Dr. Pepper decided that it wanted to just make a complete mess of the booth.
That's fine. We sopped it up. There were napkins.
Yeah.
One of Nate's many great traits as a leader of FATV is preparation, so of course he brought napkins.
Yep, I wouldn't want to be putting anything on the surface without the napkins.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It's actually still sticky. I was about to say it's not even sticky, but it is in fact sticky. If anyone listening is working maintenance at the Wallace Civic Center, we didn't do it. It wasn't us. It was like that when we got here, actually. You guys should really clean your countertops more often.
Face off to the right of Minardi, won by the Blue Knights. Held at the point. To the left side. Back to the point, holding. Looking around. Left side, shot saved by Minardi. Out to the right side, Duvall. Around the boards to the left side for Jack Heffernan. Heffernan 7 assists last season. If he scored any goals in his career, it'd probably be back when he was a freshman, if at all. The Knights trying to regain the zone, but that's out of the reach, Sam Brand. The Bulldogs having trouble getting it out of the zone. Still a minute 55 on this major. The Blue Knights already have scored once on it. As it's going around the boards, that strikes one of our officials. It's fair play then. And the Bulldogs are able to clear it down the ice. The only time where it actually matters if it strikes an official is if it goes off the official and directly in the net, then you don't give a goal for that.
Reasonable.
No banking it off the officials. You can bank it off players, you can't bank it off of the guy in the stripes. That shot ends up going wide, may have made its way to Minardi, and it's cleared down the ice again. Tyler Sear came in today with a 104 goals against. That's going to go up a little bit. He knows tomorrow's another day for him to try to claw back some of those goals in the stats.
He'd love to be doing it with a Bushnoe Tournament Championship on the line.
Up on the near side, Dylan Sprague with 55 on the power. Duvall, his shot gloved by Minardi. They'll make the shots in this period 14-3 in favor of LAS. 2:53 to go in the contest. The Blue Knights lead by 2 goals. They win the draw out to Fortier at the right point. Now Logan Martin, those being the 2 captains for LAS. Fortier out to the left side, he'll take it back. Playing a little bit of keep away right now. Trying to bide their time, looking for their shot. Now as it goes behind the net, 30 to go on the man advantage. On the major to Watkins. Back out to the point. Fortier looking for a change in direction. Gets it, but not what he was really looking for. Monty-Tech-Fitchburg takes possession and clears it out to the red line. 15 to go on the man advantage. 2:10 to go in the contest, 2-goal lead for LAS. Pops into the zone, cross, one-timer, score! With 4 seconds to go on the major, another power play goal for Lunenburg Ayer Shirley. Their 3rd power play goal of the night makes it 7-4. Logan Martin leading the handshake line for the Blue Knights. It's 7-4 the score will be once it gets updated on the big green scoreboard. Because it won't, now it is. The power of having your graphics directly wired into the scoreboard. DeMay and Dion get the assists on the goal for Logan Martin, be his 2nd of the season. And now with so little time left, this game probably all but decided now, but I imagine MT-FHS still wanting one more goal maybe to try to at least claw it into less than the maximum power rating points. Any goal that the Bulldogs can get in this final minute can help them, at least in the power ratings. As we'll get icing with 60 seconds to go. For those who don't know, margin of victory is a component in the power ratings that determine the seeding at the end of the season. And the maximum number of goals you can use for margin of victory is 3 goals.
And although these are tournament games, they are also regular season games. They count in the standings just like any other. It's just that the winner of the championship game tomorrow gets to celebrate a bit more.
They get a trophy.
They do.
So a little cup in the lobby. I saw it when I was out there earlier. Up to the left side, trying to settle is Nick Atkins. Tries to go to the point for Calaro. Calaro off the boards back to Atkins in the left side corner with 40 to go in the contest. So obviously for MT-FHS, there's still a little bit of motivation to play for. As right out in front, Jeanette with a chance, a good save by Sear. Puck still loose and out to the left side, and a whistle blows with 27.2 remaining.
I think Nick Atkins feels as though he was held. He couldn't get his stick in position to capitalize, but the penalty will actually come against Ben Jeanette. He will spend the final 27.2 seconds of regulation and most likely this contest in the penalty box. And I think a gentleman will spend the remaining time not watching hockey.
Yep. A fan got thrown out of the game and then in protest threw their hat onto the ice.
Which is just dub, really, because now you have to leave the arena and go outside in the cold without your hat. What are we doing here, guy? Do you think this one through at all?
I think the official may have thrown another individual out. Not very happy with how that's gone. Now he comes over to talk with head coach Noah Saracen about what's happened there. Now trying to communicate that to the fans here. It was a great section that showed up here from MT-FHS to support the team tonight.
Well, Dan, the game of telephone is coming over this way. I believe that the message is, stop throwing hats on the ice, you dunderheads, purple monkey dishwasher. I don't quite understand that last comment, but I understand the first part of it.
Let us not throw things on the ice and not hats when nobody's had a hat trick tonight. Final few seconds of this contest. LAS wouldn't mind one more goal, but that shot flutters over the net. Kalaro will just hold it against the boards, and Sam Brand won't try to dispossess him as the buzzer sounds. The game comes to an end in Lunenburg. Ayer Shirley with 5 goals in a row. The last 3 coming on the man advantage. Win this game 7-4. And will play for the Bushnoe Tournament Championship tomorrow night against Hudson.
Very impressive win for the Blue Knights. They go to 6-0 on the year, 3-0 in the Coughlin Conference. Monty Tech Fitchburg falls to 1-3, both overall and in the conference. They'll have a chance to improve their conference standing tomorrow. It'll be the rivalry on ice, Dan. Leominster versus Fitchburg.
Indeed it will be. That'll be a 2 o'clock start there. And then LAS and Hudson will play each other at 4 o'clock tomorrow, and that'll all be here on FATV.
And let me tell you, Dan, after the 2 games we saw today, the 2 games tomorrow should be very entertaining. That was a very game Leominster side. They should put up a fight against Monty Tech Fitchburg. And then the main event for the Bushnoe Championship, Lunenburg Ayer Shirley against Hudson. That could be a barn burner. That should be a lot of fun to watch.
Hudson put up some goals. They were able to get a lot of shots on Logan Wood in the first game. And now the big question is going to be, we saw LAS play with a much higher tempo than Hudson did in their game. Will Hudson be able to rise to the challenge there? Because I imagine that will be a bit of a test.
For Monty Tech Fitchburg, they'll be looking to rebound. You've got to think from their side, Dan, obviously more than just that one penalty came into play for them losing this game, but it's a tough one to take for the Bulldogs. They were right in this one, and then a 5-minute major with 7 minutes to play. They were down a goal going into it. They came out down by 3, and that was all she wrote.
Makes for so many challenges, and then the winning goal coming off the stick of Tyler Fortier. That was a power play goal as well. LAS had 3 power play goals, and we mentioned there was a 4-2 lead for Monty Tech Fitchburg, but it only took about 5 minutes for LAS to even it up, actually even less than that, because I'm reading the wrong goal. It took less than 2 minutes for them to tie it up. And then a few minutes later, they got the lead on a power play goal. But yeah, that major penalty by Watkins, that cross-check just can't happen. And to give up that major penalty with so little time left didn't really give them a chance to get back in it. And in fact, that final period, 14-4, the shots were in favor of LAS. Thanks to those penalties, the Blue Knights were able to dominate the third period and play the game they wanted to play, and they came away with a 3-goal victory.
Tremendous work by them. Congratulations to Lunenburg Ayer Shirley. Again, they advance to the championship. They will play Hudson. Monty Tech Fitchburg will play Leominster in the consolation game for 3rd place in the Mark Bushnoe Memorial Tournament. We'll have coverage of both of those games tomorrow afternoon here on FATV. One more time before we take off, I want to thank Travis Falk running our camera, handling the audio tonight, Nate Glennie as well. And Dan, thank you. This was a lot of fun. Hockey's good. It turns out hockey's fun.
Absolutely. 11 goals in this contest, a lot of great chances, a lot of great plays. And we hope to see some more fun hockey again tomorrow.
Tomorrow it will be the championship of the Mark Bushnoe Memorial Tournament. But for now, for Dan Bolak, I'm John Gugerty saying thank you so much for being here, folks. We'll see you next time here on FATV.